you doing? This is Manga section. I'm here to bring the review for One Piece episode 824. So we have all that stuff with Nami, and I'm just going to talk about that quickly. So we know that Brook was able to get the rubbing of the poneglyph, and I said this when it came up in the manga, that I had the idea that maybe he kept it up here, and that is essentially the case. He kept it up here, and just whipped it out later on within the episode. Now I said it in my manga review, but this is quite impressive. This is something essentially that Brooke can brag about when this is all said and done. You can go back to like, yeah, I stole something from Big Mom, man. Get me? What did you do when you saw Big Mom? Oh, what, you ran? Oh, it's cool. No, I don't blame you for that. That's the kind of vibe Brooke can go on once this is all said and done. We also find out from Jimby that Peckham's is A-OK. He's still alive. You might have forgotten about him. I've actually forgot about him as well, but Peckham's is A-OK, still alive, and I'm happy to hear about that as well. Anything else to talk about from that point? Yeah, that's it really. And then they just during their time that we see them within this episode, they decide, alright, cool. Nami realizes where Luffy and Sanji might be because the mirrors couldn't find them, so they decide to head over to there. So we have this thing with who shot Robin. We see him get shot by one guy, but when he's collapsing to the floor, we see three figures walking off. So that's really a question for you anime only watchers. Who do you think shot Robin? Who do you think's involved in that? Being a manga reader at this point in time, I already know who shot them. So we have a scene with the Vinsmokes, the men of the Vinsmokes, celebrating, drinking, getting ready for tomorrow. What they're celebrating is really things that they think is going to come to them because of this wedding. Not much to say about that. So the last things that I want to touch upon is everything involving Sanji and Luffy. Now, this was essentially filler within this episode, but I did like the way they done it, and I'm probably going to explain this poorly, but I like the way how they mixed in what Sanji's doing with what Luffy's doing at certain points of times, and I also liked in the OST, the background music that they mixed in with the scenes. Loved it, but it was filler. Just saying. But I'm not saying that it was bad filler. The only thing that did bug me essentially about all this Luffy and Sanji stuff is the bit in the episode where Sanji, he arrives at the scene, and he's looking for Luffy, and he's confusing people with Luffy, people within the same clothing, and seeing straw hats laying about. That definitely did not 100% happen within the manga. There was no confusion. Sanji just arrived, heard Luffy's stomach growling, and then walked over to him. And the last things that I do want to say is that I think that this episode could have been better if it was simply focused on Luffy and Sanji. Still throw in the filler scenes that they had within there, but just go deeper within the reunion. I'm pretty sure all of what happened within this episode happened within a chapter, but we could have had this episode. Forget the Nami stuff. We could have had that later on and just go into another chapter and then come back to this chapter to for the Nami stuff, and then you can essentially understand what I'm trying to say here. But I'm going to do this episode a 3-star rating and call it a review. Like always, guys, I'm asking for your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. But most importantly, take care. Have a nice day.